मैम लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग ऑन हो गई है।
Okay, so today we'll be talking about IELTS Part 2. Come on, move. It's not moving. Yeah. Okay. So in Part 2, you will be given a cue card and you will have to prepare yourself for 2 minutes. And Part 2 is sometimes called the long turn. You have to speak at length for 2 minutes. So, for doing that, you will be given 1 minute to prepare your answer, and how you can use that time to prepare your answer. I have, pasted up a picture. For example, the examiner asks you the skill that you want to learn, and you say the skill is piano. So, what we do is we just write some keywords in front of the ideas that we want to explain. How to learn, maybe using a teacher, daily practice, some apps, or YouTube. And then you'll be writing some words about the time. It may take 2 years to learn basic and 10 plus years if you want to master it. And it's like a lifelong journey. And then you're answering why. Express emotions, why you're attached to learning piano, or you can tell the cognitive benefits, like it can be helpful for you, and social benefits associated to it. Then you will add details like grandmother played, maybe grandmother plays really well and she always loved the sound and you also liked it. The next is stress relief. You're telling the details: whenever I play piano, my stress is relieved and I feel so relaxed. So this is how you use that 1 minute to prepare your answer. The next is we will be talking about tips. The first tip is you do not have to talk about every bullet point. So, like, look at this. Speaking part two question is describe something you own, which is very important to you. Then there are some questions associated to it. You should say where you got it from, how long you have had it, what you use it for, and explain why it is important to you. These are the sub questions, but your general question or main question is this: describe something you own, which is very important to you. This is your main question. Now, if you look at the detail, this is the heading is you should say. It doesn't say you must. It means you can skip them if you don't know where you got it from, or maybe you don't know what you use it for. You can skip them. These points are only to help you, they are not here to make it difficult for you. The next is you should have a strategy. You have to speak for 2 minutes. In order to do that, you should have a specific strategy. So, first of all, you will give an introduction while, you know, 2 minutes essay, or when you speak at length for 2 minutes, there should be a structure associated to it, a strategy. So first of all, you will talk about the introduction, then you will say something that happened in the past, then you will give some description, your opinion, and then you will talk about future. In this way you can easily talk at length for 2 minutes. Okay, so first, about this strategy, I'm going to explain the strategy next. First of all, the introduction. So you will start off by saying, I would like to talk about X. And then you will say, I choose this topic because. For example, if the question is about the place that I visited, so I can say that I went to Murray. Okay, then I will tell the reason why I choose this place, because it's in the northern side of Pakistan and it is surrounded by mountains and long trees that sway in the beautiful environment. You know, you're telling the examiner about the introduction, what you're going to talk about and why you chose this topic. The next is past. So when you have given the introduction, you will talk about past. You will pause a little and use a linking word anyway or anyhow to talk about past. So if you want to talk about past, you can use this structure, use to plus infinitive or would plus infinitive to describe past habit. Like I can say that I used to go to park for a walk. This is how you can use it in to talk about anything that happened in past. The next is description. So once you talked about anything you wanted to say in past, then you will give some description. So before doing that, you will pause a little and say, so let me tell you about X in little more detail. So you're adding a phrase to tell the examiner, I'm going to talk about it in detail. The next is get to know the common topics and have some specific adjectives ready. I discussed some common topics earlier and I told you people to learn some vocabulary and adjectives that are associated to some common topics. Next is opinion. So you can give your opinion by saying this, I strongly believe that, or maybe as far as I am concerned, or you can use any of these. I must admit, I'm strongly in favor of. So next is future. Then you will talk about future and how you can do that by using this particular structure be going plus to infinitive. Like I can say that in future I will be applying to a university abroad. The next is will, as I said earlier, and to, and you can use it for negative, want, and to. The next is preparation. So do not memorize your answer. If you memorize the answer, the examiner will catch it. And once the examiner understands that you are speaking something memorized, then what will happen is the examiner is gonna give you very low bands because it's not a memorization test. The test is about assessing your ability to speak at length. The next is focus on fluency and pronunciation. You should be focused on your fluency and how you pronounce. And regarding pronunciation, I want to tell you one important thing, which is when you pronounce a word, do not think about accent. I should sound British or maybe I should sound American. No, you should speak or say the word clearly. It can be in any accent or maybe no accent. Only the thing that matter is you can communicate your answers clearly and the examiner can understand your words clearly. That's what matters. The pronunciation is only about clear way of speaking words. It's not about the accent. Next is learn functional language. What is functional language? When we talk about past, we use past tenses. Like I said earlier, used to is used to describe something that happened in past. Or maybe if you talk about future, you will use will. So functional language is the appropriate function. So if you're talking about future, the functional language will be using future tense. The next preparation strategy is time yourself. So whenever you record yourself, try to time yourself whether you spoke at length for 2 minutes or not. This can help you improve. And next is, come on, why did you get stuck? Okay, use 1 minute wisely. Okay, so be very careful. You will be given 1 minute to write anything that you want to say in the next 2 minutes. So you should not write full sentences. If you do write full sentences, your time will go waste. So only write keywords. As I, yeah, here you can see I have written some words. These are keywords. Do not write full sentences because this is a complete waste of time. Next is personal experiences are the best. So in part 2, when the examiner asks you questions, you should give some personal experiences that are associated to your life. Why? Because whenever we talk about something that is real or truth, we are more confident. We show our experience with some emotions, and then you always speak with fluency, and your pronunciation is always correct. So the best strategy is to use real life experiences. But if you think you run out of ideas, you can add a little bit lies, some lies to help your answers. But if you want to sound natural, it's a good idea to talk about something that is real life. The next is expand your ideas. Okay, so if the examiner asks me the question, which drink you like the most, and if I start answer like this, I love lemonade, and I like the apple juice, banana milkshake. Yeah, I love banana shake and mango shake as well. Yeah, but I love the chocolate shake more. So what I did here, I just categorized. I just given you a lot of list of juices or drinks. This is not a good idea because you're not a USB or something that can store information. You're not here to give the list of anything. So it's a better idea to expand your answer. You just choose one drink or one juice, and you tell the examiner why. So do not try to add list of things to elongate your answer, because if you think you will stuff a lot of list of words to your answer and then you will be able to complete 2 minutes easily, then it's not a good idea. Because by listing, you cannot show examiner the range of vocabulary, the range of grammar structure, your pronunciation, and all. So it's a red flag. You shouldn't do it at all. Do not talk about all the stuff or all the things that come to your mind. Only pick 1 to 2 things and expand your answer. For example, if I had to choose one drink, I would say, well, I love lemonade. It's because its taste is so refreshing and it's not intense at all. When you take a sip, you feel so fresh. It's neither too sweet nor too soury. So it's a blend of sweet, sour, and salty taste. And therefore, I like it. You see, I just explained about one drink. So try to expand your answer according to or by choosing only 1 to 2 things. Do not make a list of things because it cannot showcase your range of vocabulary, your grammar structure, and your fluency. The next is, so if you're getting it if it becomes difficult for you to talk about something at length, try to expand your ideas using these. Like, ask yourself question: who, what, why, where, how. Like I said earlier, I was talking about a drink. So we can ask ourselves what drink, that is lemonade. Why? Because it is refreshing. You can ask yourself where. You can buy it from a shop, or you can explain where you buy it and how you buy it. So by asking yourself some questions, you can expand your ideas. You should take one idea and then ask yourself questions: who, what, why, where, and how. And by asking yourself these questions, you will be able to expand your ideas easily. Next is mistakes are okay. Everyone does that. As I explained earlier, native English speakers also make grammar mistakes. So, but we are not native English speakers. Whenever we are speaking and we figure out, like, I made a mistake here, then what happens is that we get nervous, stressed out, and we run out of our ideas. And that's where the fluency breaks. And it's not a good idea. So whenever you catch yourself making a mistake, try to correct yourself immediately and then move on. Own your mistakes. Do not stop. Do not feel hesitated or nervous or stressed out, or don't feel bad that you made mistake. You just own your mistake, try to move on, and just speak in a better way. Don't get stressed out or nervous. So how you can do it, you should admit it or accept it, because once you accept that everyone does make grammar mistakes, then it will be easier for you to move on. You won't feel alone. It's a universal phenomena. Everyone, we humans, we all make grammar mistakes. So once you understand this, that we make these mistakes naturally, then you will not feel nervous. You will correct yourself immediately and then move on. Okay, so next is what makes a band 9 part 2 response. First of all, fluency and coherence. So can you speak continuously for 2 minutes and without with minimal hesitations? Like when we're speaking, we're thinking at the same time. So we can have some hesitation like ahs, but they shouldn't be frequent. You shouldn't be talking about them, making such hesitations or filler words frequently, because if you add these hesitations or filler words frequently, this will lower your band score. So try to minimize the hesitations, ums and ahs, these filler words, in order to increase your fluency and coherence. The next is lexical resource. Lexical resource is basically the vocabulary. So if you have wide range of vocabulary, then it's a good way to get good bands, because if you can speak about something in a different way or more advanced way, then you'll be able to get good bands. But the one thing that's important is you should use it naturally and precisely. If you can't use a word naturally or precisely, then you will get really bad score. It's because it's whenever you use a word naturally or precisely, it can be added into a lexical resource, but if you make mistake here, it will be considered as a grammatical mistake. Okay, the next is grammatical range. You should have varied grammatical structures. Like as I said earlier, you can use past tenses, future tenses, and present to describe a phenomenon. Okay, pronunciation. So, is your speech clear? Like the words you're saying or speaking are clearly understandable for the examiner, and use of intonation and stress. So, as I said earlier last time, about the intonations are something that make your answer look so natural. So I will give you two example. One example is going to be about the the response will have no intonations, and in the second response I will give intonations. Let's say, okay, first one is now. Yesterday, I went to buy a laptop, and when I get home, I opened the laptop. Boom, it was a piece of shit. The screen was not getting adjusted, and when I opened it, the I could not change the its sound because the button was not working. So you see, I was saying it without any intonation, and now I will say the same thing with intonations. Today I went to buy a laptop, and when I get home, open it, boom, it was a piece of shit, because I was not able to change its um, brightness, and the keyboard buttons were not working. The screen was flickering. I was scammed badly. I cannot tell you how bad I feel right now. You see, what I did here, I have added intonations, some feeling. I have changed my voice. It goes up and down, and at some point, I'm, applying stress to something, some words. The next is band 9 speakers excel in these areas. Okay, we will see what are these areas. First is content development. So if you can develop your answer, as I said earlier, then you will get really good bands. The next is organization. Organization means you shouldn't be rambling, say something differently. Just try to have a clear beginning, starting, and then do have something in middle and end. You should have smoother transition between your ideas. First idea, second, and third. The transition should be smoother. The next is time. So if you can speak for 2 minutes without running out of ideas, then you will get good bands. The next is authenticity. They sound natural and genuine. I mean, band 9 speaker, whenever they speak, they sound really natural. You can easily understand what they're saying. And the next is, come on, why did it get stuck? Okay, the ideal structure for speaking part 2. So first of all, you will give 20 seconds for introduction, and for main body, you will be assigning 60 to 80 seconds, and you should have a conclusion, and the conclusion should be 15 to 20 seconds. So this is the structure that you should be using for part 2 responses. Common mistake. Let's talk about common mistake. First common mistake is not addressing all the bullet points. Okay, speaking at length about first bullet point, and you're just talking about first bullet point, and you just rushing through completely, forgetting other points. So if you address only one point, it's not a good idea. The next is you can allocate equal time. First bullet point for a few seconds, then use your notes and ensure that you're covering everything that's written on your card. Running out of things to say. So if you finish your response under 1 minute means if you speak like for 40 seconds or 45 seconds, then try to add something after that and try to sit in silence. That's a big red flag. What you should do is use the expansion strategies like descriptions, personal experiences, add some examples, do some comparisons in order to expand your answer and speak for 2 minutes. The next, um, delivering a memorized answer. So if you give answer to a question that sounds memorized or sounds robotic, then examiner is going to hate it because it's not a memorization test, it is a speaking test. So it's a good idea to use a flexible template and strategies rather than full scripts. So adapt yourself and prepare to the language specific topic. Next is speaking too quickly or unnaturally. Yes, when we speak too quickly, we always first of all, if you speak very quickly, you will complete your answer before 2 minutes, which is not a good idea. And when we try to speak too quickly, we always make grammar mistake because we are not thinking ahead of our speech. We are speaking before thinking, and it's not a good idea. So try to speak natural conversational pace. Conversational pace is like you're talking to your friend. So when you talk to your friend, how do you speak? Try to use that pace, that speed. Do not talk too speedily because it is like a conversation between two friends. So try to include pauses for emphasis and try to give yourself some time to think. In this way, you will avoid these common mistakes. So, techniques that can be helpful. First technique is storytelling technique. So for example, the examiner asks you about the place you went or something like that. So you should use this approach, which is called storytelling approach. So what you do is here setting a scene. You will make a scene, describe where and when the event happened. You will introduce characters, like you can add people, your friend or your brother or your sibling, creating a sequence. Okay, so you can say first of all, then after that. So in this way, you can make your story look coherent. Next is building a climax. Climax is the end. Include something unexpected elements or try to give a conclusion of your story. So the next is providing resolution. Explain outcomes or reflection. For example, if I talk about something like that, you explained why you learned a skill, and after explaining whole thing, in the end you're telling the outcomes. So when you learned a skill, it helped me in such a way, or reflections. So in this way you can give a right, this is the right way to story tell. Next is sensory description. For example, the examiner asks you describe about a person. So when you're describing about a person, you should ask about the color, or maybe you're talking about somebody's hair. You will talk about the color, shape, sound, music, something like that. For example, she had long hair. It was like sectioned into two parts, and it was just braided all the way down, and she had cutest face. So it is like the examiner's asking you about a friend, and you are explaining about your friend from your childhood friend or something like that. So you say you're explaining the human being, and whenever you do that, try to visualize shapes, movement, try to tell the smells, or maybe she used to smell really good aromas, or the music or her sound was so good. She used to speak like a soothing person. So whenever you listen to her, you feel soothing. The soothing sound was so good. Whenever you explain about a person, try to add these details. The next is cultural element. So if the examiner asks you about a culture, so what you can do is you can add things like food and cuisine. So you can add some traditional dishes and their significance, and you can also explain the custom or tradition, the practices that people do. Like if we talk about in Pakistan, it is a custom here to wear shalwar kameez. This is the cultural thing that we can say. The next is historical context. So you can tell about the background or history of something, or maybe if they're asking about Lahore, and you can explain the history about the monuments of Lahore. Next is regional differences, highlighting variations with your culture. So yeah, we have culture of Sindhi, Balochi, and Punjabi. We can explain the variations in our culture. And if we look at the example here, you can see that she was from Punjab. So I was explaining my friend, and I'm telling about the cultural element. She was from Punjab, which is a part of Pakistan, and her mom used to make the most amazing paratha. Look, I'm adding food. It is a stuffed bread, and I'm explaining like they put potato and spices into a flatbread, and my mom used to make something called suji. So what you can see here, first of all, Punjab, part of Pakistan, this is the historical context or background. Then you're adding food. So it's not that you have to add all these to one answer. You can pick one of them, two or three of them, and expand your answer. So topic categories. If the examiner asks you question related to humans or person based, describe a person who has influenced you. So you will do that. You will tell the specific qualities of a person with examples, how they demonstrate these qualities, include how they affected your personality, rather than listing the achievement. So you cannot tell about a person, he achieved a gold medal, or he does this or this. You should also try to add the impact that person had on you. The next is object based topics. So for example, describe a gift you have received, describe a piece of technology or something like that. So while describing a piece of object, you should add details like how does it look like appearance, what's the texture, or how does it smell, and explain the object's personal significance. Personal significance means when you use it personally how it can be helpful, why it is so important to you, or why the practical use. So for example, if I talk about my phone, I can add some appearance. It's I can tell about the color, it's in blue color or something. Like I can tell this texture and explain its significance. I use it daily in order to send details to my friends or communicate with my friends or get along with my family members. So I'm telling about the practical uses of my phone. How does it look like? The texture of it. So all these things are associated to the object based topic. The next is experience based topics. Describe a time when you helped someone. So the question is, now you have to explain your experience. So while explaining your experience, you should use storytelling approach. So in storytelling approach, use a chronology. What is chronology? First of all, this happened, then in the middle this happened, and then this happened. For example, if I talk about my experience, like I can say that there was a girl who used to live beside my house. She came to me and asked for help. She couldn't pass her exam and she wanted me to help her in her physics subject. Then I will move on and on. So, first of all, I added some background, the introduction. Then I will say how I helped her. Then I will get back to conclusion. This is how you can explain the experience based topics. The next is place based topic. So describe a place you would like to visit. So while explaining these kind of topics, create a vivid picture. Vivid means clear picture, and explain physical attributes. How does it look like? The atmosphere, the feeling. Share personal connection to the place. For example, if I talk about a city, like I say, I choose Islamabad. I will tell the scenery. I will tell the city is surrounded by mountains, huge mountains, and I'll talk about the weather, the atmosphere, and I will share my personal connection. Why do I like it? Why I get so emotional when I talk about it? See, you can add details by just asking yourself these questions. Okay. Okay. So if you wanna know what is the marking criteria, this is the marking criteria. Try to record yourself. So when you do record yourself, ask yourself question: did I address all the bullet points? It's not important all. Try to use some of them. Okay. Did I speak for 2 minutes? Did I include specific details and examples? Did I use a variety of descriptive vocabulary? So, when you ask yourself these questions, you can easily assess whether you did well or not. That's all from my side. Now, if anybody's wanna take a mock test for part 2, raise your hand. I will ask you questions and then I will tell you to the areas of improvement where you need improvement. Is there anyone who wants to take a mock test for part 2 only? No? Okay. Hmm. Okay, if you people are not into giving them, okay, Ma'am Maria Ghaffar. Ma'am Maria, are you willing to take the test? Or you just liked something? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Give me 2 minutes. Okay, ma'am, are you ready? Ma'am Maria, are you there?
Yes, yeah, I'm there.
Okay, okay. So the cue card question is a new law you would like to wait. Okay. So the question is an interesting dish you like. You should say what it is, where you ate it, how it is made, why you liked it. If you want, I can repeat the question.
Can I write this question?
Yeah, sure. Because they give a cue card where it is already written. Once you write the question, do let me know because I will be timing you. I will turn the stopwatch on and will tell
Mm,
you whether you spoke for 2 minutes or not. I can repeat the question. An
okay.
interesting dish you like, then points are what it is, where you ate it, how it is made, why you liked it.
Yes.
So, have you written?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to record 1 minute. For 1 minute, you will be making notes. Your time starts now.
Uh,
Time's up. Time's up. And Maria, are you there? And Maria,
yeah.
your time's up. Start speaking now.
Okay. Uh, yesterday, yesterday we planned with my all friends and we were met on a restaurant and we ordered some menu and I saw the mint drink and I ordered it and I really enjoy and with my friends also the enjoy this drink because it's very cool and energetic for the all the ingredients and I asked then after the finish the drink and we came back at home and we I find out on Google and watch the recipe and try it at home and I made it uh, mm, and I buy mint and sugar and salts and I just blend on the blender and I and also I put the water and I serve my all family were very enjoy the moment when he drink this mint drink and we really enjoy I made it the energetic food energetic drink and that's my all mm,
Okay. Ma'am, you spoke for 1 minute and 53 seconds. You did really well. You tried with something fast, then you added some story. And why I am hearing myself again? Okay, all right. So, Ma'am Maria, are you listening?
Yeah, your voice is audible for me.
Okay. So you spoke for 1 minute and 53 seconds, which is really good. And then your answer had a story. So the story begins with something past, and then you added something that happened, and then you just explained everything. Your answer had a chronological order, but as I said earlier, you were making grammar
What do you mean
mistakes.
by chronology?
It's like you're telling past, then this happened, then this happened. You were not somebody who was rambling or saying something. You know, the answer made sense to me. I understood what happened in the past, then how you liked the dish and how you tried it. This is called chronological order. And you did
Okay.
really well here.
Thank you.
Okay. The next thing is, you said we were met. You had to say we met. Then you say the enjoy. So we don't use article the with enjoy. You said salts. So we usually don't say salts. We say salt. Salt is a singular noun and we use it
Okay.
salt. Okay. And then you said family were very happy. So family is a noun which always followed by was or is. You can always use a singular verb here. So my family was very happy instead of saying family were very happy. The next thing is you were saying meant. So the drink name was meant, right? I could confuse here. What was the name of the drink? So you wanted to say something mint or you said meant? Are you there? Ma'am Maria, you there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I was asking you the drink name that you mentioned earlier. So when you
And
were ending your answer, you were just, I get confused and you wanted to, you just ended it
yeah, I'm
abruptly and
confused.
you said,
How can the of
mm-hmm.
this story?
Yeah. That's why you pronounced it wrong and you said meant instead of mint. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, to everyone who's listening, I want to tell you this. If you do not complete your answer for 2 minutes, examiner will ask you another question related to your story. For example, just like Ma'am Maria did complete for 1 minute and 53 seconds, the
Okay.
examiner will ask a follow-up question to
Okay.
complete 2 minutes. For example, do you plan to make this drink in the future? So now you will speak about for a few seconds more to complete the 2 minutes. So I want
Okay.
everybody else to know this. Try to complete for 2 minutes. If you don't, you will get to know the examiner will ask you a follow-up question related to part two.
All
Okay.
right.
Mm-hmm. All right. It was good. You tried to speak for 1 minute and 53 seconds. Try to record yourself, and I guess you should learn a little bit about grammar because if you want to get a band 7 or above, majority of your sentences should be grammar free. Let's say 50% of your sentences should be grammar free. So try to learn grammar. This will improve your score enormously.
And ma'am,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
please like tell me how can improve our grammar and how can the practice on the grammar.
Okay, so there is a site called Grammarly. If you go there, you can see there are articles about the, so you're using the wrong everywhere, inaccurately. So
I don't
try,
understand where I use the.
Okay, the enjoy. So what you can do is whenever you give a mock test here, try to uh, uh, rewind or listen to recording. So right now
Okay.
we're having a recording on YouTube. You can listen it back in order to understand your mistakes where you used the, or you can listen to the feedback again. So where you made mistake, you will be able to catch them easily. Okay. So is there anyone who is willing to take a mock test? Who's this? Okay. Sir Shamsul Hassan. Ji sir, are you ready?
Ma'am, actually, I
Mm-hmm.
think time is ended, and I actually had a question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you like to tell me the things which you covered today? And because I was late,
Mm-hmm.
and also I want to know, can you
Yeah.
share the slide uh, which you
Mm-hmm.
used?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. You will get recording and slides in the channel. We have a Slack channel, 3PM IELTS. So there you can get these slides, and also you can get recording of this lecture. So today we talked
Actually,
about
I
part
just
2. Mm-hmm.
okay.
And it was about how you can expand your answers in part 2, and what are the strategies, tips and tricks, and something like common mistakes that we usually make and we should avoid. So in a nutshell, it was about part 2.
Okay. So, ma'am, actually, I just checked the
Mm-hmm.
pinned messages where the recording links and the files used to be uploaded, but it's not there. Uh, and I need the slide of yesterday and today also,
Okay.
if you can
So
share.
about yesterday, I couldn't keep the slides. I just, lost it the moment I ended the lecture. That was my bad. I couldn't store them, save them. But for today, I can share it. I can share it with you.
Actually, ma'am, yesterday's slides was quite helpful because there was something
Mm-hmm.
I did not know before. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why.
Okay, sir. You can listen to the recording on YouTube. We have
Okay.
so there you can find those the slides or content again. And for part 2, I do
Okay.
have these slides and I'll share it with you.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, no worries. Okay, I hope nobody else has any question. Let's end this. Let's call it a day.